the surface, the face on the tool post grinder was a long way out, so I've had to grind this. When I say a long way, a fraction of a millimetre. Letting it spark out now. I've taken about a quarter of a millimetre off. Right, so I've treed that surface up, and we've all but finished the arbor. So the moment of truth. How true is it? Because it was a long way out before. Right, well, this is the culmination of quite a bit of work. I've had to make up the spindle, which took quite a bit of getting right because the arbor of the tool post grinder wasn't flat at this end and it wasn't square, and so that took a bit getting right. But I've now got about 1/100th of run out here, so that's pretty good. I've dressed the stone. I had to make up a base to get this up at centre height, and so I've ground one jaw. That turned out quite successfully, so we'll set up the second jaw and grind that one. So I'm doing one jaw at a time, and this jaw is further in than all of the other jaws because of the way I've adjusted the spaces. So now we'll do this jaw here. So I'll take this spacer out and move this jaw back and this one in, because this is the one we're going to grind. Put a spacer in here at the outside end of the jaw, because we want the play taken up in that direction. I'm going to mark the jaws that I've ground, so I've done that one. Right, so the jaw that I'm going to grind is further in than the other ones by a long margin. So now we'll tighten up our spaces. So I'll tighten up the three jaws concerned. So this is the jaw we're grinding now, and it's being loaded in the upward direction, which is the correct direction. I'm now going to mark all of the jaw faces with a Sharpie, so I can tell how far we go. Now I've actually milled these faces in the mill, as you've seen, and we've got about 0.15 of a millimetre to take off, which is about 6 thousandths. We'll just make sure that we're looking good here, which we are. Now, I've got the lathe going reasonably slow. Touching as it is now. I'll do the first few cuts by hand, and then I'll do the last few cuts under power feed. Right, so we've taken a whisk off the first, about halfway down the jaw, and it's dead centre, so it's looking quite good. Taking 1.5 thou off per cut. I've actually got the stone angled into the work, so the arbor is not parallel to the centre of the lathe, it's angled in it at that angle, so that we're cutting only on this end of the stone. I'm not sure whether you can see that. This is the jaw we're cutting, so we're about 3/4 of the way through the job, and so far I've taken 4/100ths off the jaw faces. Our third jaw. Right, I don't know whether you can see that, but we've done most of, we've done about 3/4 of that jaw and that, and those 3 cuts, so we've taken 3/100ths of a millimetre off, so that jaw was quite accurate to start with. Let's see, another 2/100ths, we're up to 6/100ths now. Right, one to go, and that's this one here. Oh, that looks pretty good. Right, I'm going to have to strip this whole chuck and wash it and put it back together again, but before I do that I'm going to mark the jaws and their positions with a Dremel tool so that I don't get them mixed up. Because they are now unique to their positions. So after I've done that, we'll put a bit of test bar in and see what we've achieved. Right, well, I've cleaned the jaws up. I haven't cleaned the lathe yet, so I've still got my rag here. And I've got this bit of test bar set to run out of 1/100th at this end. I don't know whether you can see that. I'll just change the angle a bit if I can. Right, so we've got about 1.5 hundredths there, and 100th of a millimetre is 0.4 of a thousandths. So now we'll go to this end. And we've got about 1/2 hundredth. If you excuse the term, 1/2 hundredth and 100th is 0.4, so that's 0.2 of a thousandths. I'm very pleased with that. That is fantastic. That's taken a lot of work making the jig, making the arbor, measuring the jaws, machining the jaws in the mill with the carbide to get them within cooey, grinding them, and I have to say I'm very happy. In fact, you're not going to believe this, so I'm going to rearrange the camera so you can see it. Right, so here's the proof of the pudding. Right, that's at that end. I think you can see the needle better back there. So, okay, we've got about 1/2 hundredth there. And if I go to here, that's definitely reading. I can bend the bar, but I can't bend the bar that close to the work. Okay, we've got about 1/100th. 1/100th there. It looks better at this end than it does at that end, but it's probably the smoothness of the bar.